we will be fighting Morocco, Granada, and all of Morocco's little vassals. So here we go, Wham, the great war declaration sound. And so you can see there's two forts here, indicated by these little castles. I'm going to move my troops into one of them. So if I click, oops, I'll have to move my troops in first, but when they're there, uh-oh, okay, something else is happening. This naval engagement is not what I hoped and dreamed it would be. So they have the same number of heavy ships, and they outnumber us in light ships. So it's our 18 boats versus their 26. You can see these little bars. We're already kind of losing. So this does not look good. So I'm going to monitor my ships. They appear on this little battle window. Naval combat is, I don't know, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but basically if you have more heavy ships, you'll probably win. Okay, so here what's happening, this heavy ship is about to die. So if you wait 1 week after a battle has started, you can retreat. So we've been here for a week, it's now time that we can retreat. So I'm going to get out of here. And you can see, because my ships just left this port, they're going to have to go back to this port. And you can see the heavy ship has been damaged, it's at 33% strength. That's not great. It'll repair 10% every month being in a home port. So I unfortunately kind of wasted my chance to snipe some fleets. Hopefully Castile has a strong fleet and can help me out next time. But it's a big investment having a navy, which is also true, you know, historically in real life. And so losing your navy is a really big blow. So it's better to get out of Dodge and save your ships than it is to fight. Okay, here's another little pop-up. This one is terrible. I'm going to lose the administrative power again, even though administrative power is really important right now. And look at this. We're in a war, thrilling stuff. So I have 18,000 troops. I have my whole army staying on this fort. And you probably can see that there's the skull and crossbones, or not crossbones, just the skull, to indicate that they're taking attrition. If I click on the province, it'll open up this siege view. And you can see in this little box the number of regiments which are required to capture the fort, and it's only 6. Which means I have a lot of units here taking 1% attrition, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up, that don't need to be. So I'm going to move most of my units away from the province so that they won't be taking attrition. So I'm going to take all my cavalry. Cavalry are more expensive, so as they gain attrition in the siege, it'll cost me more than an infantry unit. And I'm going to leave 7 units here. That's the number of units required plus 1. So this way, if they take attrition, I will still have enough to continue sieging the province. Because if you have the bare minimum, anything can happen and kick you off the siege. Okay, so here's... We're getting ugly, something's happening. So you can see the Moroccan troops, 15k, are attacking me. And they will arrive on 28th of July. I can hover over them to see where they're going. They're going to Tangiers. It's kind of hard to tell, actually. So they're going to go hit me in this fort to try and stop me from sieging. So all I'm going to do is reinforce with this group. I think that our 18,000 will be enough to scare away their 15,000. Oh no, okay. So troops moving between provinces, once they've moved halfway, they become locked. So I hovered over this guy. It said, I forget, he was going to arrive on the 28th. So if it takes him a week to make that travel, once they're 4 days into the travel, they'll be stuck and they can't turn back. So he is stuck going into this province. There's definitely a battle that's going to happen here. And so I'm moving my troops in. They'll arrive in 2 days on the 26th. And so we will have 18k against his 15k. And this battle will play out. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully we do well. Okay, so I'm going to click, open up the battle view. Of all the things in EU4 that are really overcomplicated, I think the battle system is not super complex. I like it for that. What happens is your cavalry regiments will line up on the edges and the infantry regiments will line up in the middle, and you'll have a battle. What's happening here is I have more units on the sides, so I have 2 cavalry regiments which are flanking. They're attacking these 2 units and doing a bonus damage. So as this battle progresses day by day, there's going to be rolls. The rolls determine our casualties. So I'm going to just slow it down to speed 3, and I'm going to do 1 day at a time. So you can see some numbers popped up. That was the losses that we inflicted on them and they inflicted on us. There's dice rolls. 4 beats 2. We have a shock bonus because it's the shock phase. There's phases in battles where we fired each other and charged each other, so these are the fire and the shock phases. So I'm charging at them, and they're not doing very well. And so what'll happen is, because I'm flanking, these units on the sides are going to die first, and their lines will collapse from the outside in, most likely. So the color's changing over here. If I hover over it, it says at the bottom, this regiment is only 346 strength, so that means I've already killed about 2/3 of the cavalry in that regiment, and in a minute they're probably going to disappear and be removed from the battle entirely. So look at that, do you see the units disappear from each side? I'm flanking them, so I'm beating the units on the edge, and as the battle progresses, it's kind of going to snowball, and I'm going to beat them harder, most likely. This is a bad dice roll for us, though, so we'll just see. So there you go, that's the battle. The system, I think, works pretty well. If you have more troops and better armies, you will win. Right now, our armies are roughly equivalent. The things that govern your army quality are mostly your technology and then ideas, but neither of us have ideas which give us military bonuses, and we are both on the same technology level, which can be seen by right-clicking in the diplomacy view and then looking at their tech. So nice, we got rid of those guys. I'm gonna do the same thing, try to leave almost exactly 6,000 troops in this province. You can see we took a lot of losses. They took more, but that was a costly battle for us, and we will slowly replenish those casualties from our manpower pool. Oops, wrong way. Ooh, I'm getting myself confused. So you can click armies in the same province, reorganize them. You've probably seen me do this a few times. If you click on an army and you want to split things off, you can create a new unit, so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just removing units from this army so that they'll be added to the siege army. So now I have 6.2 thousand troops, that's just about right. I need 6,000 to siege the province. And unfortunately, this is going to take a long time. So the way sieges work is you have the, what do they call this? A siege phase. As siege phases progress, the percent chance for the fort to fall will go up. So we're at negative 42%, which will slowly increase. Eventually, we will go from a negative to a positive percentage, and we'll have a positive chance. So it'll be like 10% chance of the fort falling, and then 30%, and so on. So it just takes a long time. The siege phases are about 30 days. So yeah, you can be on sieges for years. Sometimes it's pretty terrible. Morocco has a good defensive position. They have this fort here and this fort here. These forts also block my movement, so I have to siege them down before I can go and occupy the rest of their country. Okay, so you saw a little thing pop up there, maybe it said food shortage. That also appears here. There's rolls that happen. There's like a die roll for sieges that determines how long it takes. You can't really predict it, it's just random. So slowly the siege will progress. If we're very lucky, it will progress fast, but it might, I don't know, might take longer. Okay, something kind of bad's happening here. You can see this little dotted line and these navies, so I'm getting blockaded because the enemy beat my navy, which is now trapped here, and they've gone and spread out, and they're blockading my provinces, so that's gonna take trade money away from me and also give me unrest in those provinces, which are bad things. Should probably take a moment, maybe take a break from all this war to explain unrest real quick, because it's probably relevant. You can even see there's this little pop-up here that I've sort of been ignoring this whole time. So I have unrest. So that means in this province, Ceuta, this is indicating the number of provinces and what they are. This is the number of regiments that will rise up. This is the rebellion. So there's unhappy people in this province. I can go to the province screen and see that the unrest is 1.9, and it'll tell me that they're Moroccan separatists that want to rise up. 8,000 of them, and the way this works, not unlike the sieges, there's a percentage that has a chance of ticking up every month, and when it gets to 100, a rebel army will pop up in that province, an 8,000 strong rebel army. But you can also see there that the revolt will be in approximately 43.8 years, so this is not something that I really have to worry about. But when I take more territory from Morocco, I will probably have rebellions, which I'll have to deal with. In effect, you just have to fight the rebels, or there's some clever tricks you can do to get rid of them, but typically you end up having to fight some rebellions when you conquer territory. Okay, here they come again. You gotta be fast, so I've moved most of my army off the province. Usually that's a good idea, but if they come in without me noticing, they could destroy half my army very easily. So here what happened, he wasn't locked into the province, and I scared him off from going there. So he's actually decided against attacking me in this fort, and he's off to another province to do something else. So what's happening here? Okay, I was hoping that Castile was going to come over and help me, because they have a lot of troops in Granada right now, and I could really use some of those troops. Oh, well, that works for me, actually. Okay, so, well, does that work for me? Okay, so Morocco's crossing the strait, and they're going to attack my allies. And they're probably going to beat them, because this is a much smaller army. Yeah, 7k versus 14k, that's going to be a problem. You can see there's an icon that they're going to get a crossing penalty. Going across the strait gives you a really severe penalty to the battle. But I'm just going to let that happen, actually. Just going to let them fight this out. This is someone else's manpower and someone else's war. Castile has 23,000 troops. They can definitely deal with this Moroccan stack if they want to. And look at that, they're going to send over their armies. This is kind of a problem. They left the siege, so they're going to lose their siege progress, but no big deal. Uh-oh. Okay, the Moroccans are coming back across the strait. Okay, well, I just don't want them to attack me, because now I have a positive siege progress of 7% chance per month, now 21% chance, and if they fight me before I finish the siege, that would be kind of a drag. Okay, we've got an event. Oh, my wife is having an affair with someone in my court. Okay, well, that's a drag. So I can either lose prestige, lose money, or get unrest. I am gonna... Oh, or I can get rid of my queen, but I don't think I want to do that. She's okay. Do I really care? Okay, I don't know what this event papal authority is, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get rid of my queen. I don't want an adulteress for queen. This is 1449. Oh shit, okay, well this is not good either. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, so I asked the Pope for a divorce, the Pope is like, no, and I lose prestige. So I guess that's just the Game of Thrones, so that's fine. So now I have negative prestige, that's not great, but not too big of a problem either. One of the best ways of getting prestige is through fighting and winning wars, so hopefully I'll come out ahead. Oh man, this is looking so ugly though. Like, do you see there are just a lot of little armies around, and they're concentrating on the province next to the where my army is. Okay, so Castile's close, that's good. I want them to be... Yeah, this is good. And now they're sieging down my fort, and they're at negative 35%, so that's good too. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Hopefully Castile will just engage those armies without me having to do anything, and I can just siege. Unfortunately, I'm taking the 1% attrition on my whole army right now, but I think I have to do that. My manpower is... yeah, it's okay. Okay, so Morocco was in that war with Tlemcen. They just pieced out. They took a lot of land and another fort that we'll have to fight. Oof, I don't know. This war is kind of a drag, to be honest with you. This is not clean and clear and under control. Alright, come on, Castile, you can do it. Okay, we got our fort, we got our siege. Can we go anywhere? So, siege, forts have a zone of control. Every province bordering this fort is going to have the fort's zone of control on it. So you can see that if I click on my army, there's this little icon. And I don't think, yeah, I cannot march my army past the fort. The only way I can do that is by taking my boats. I don't want to do that because my boats are still repairing and because they have a strong navy in the strait. So my only option is to occupy Fez, which has 5,000 troops on it. If I went and attacked that, then most likely this Moroccan army would also go back their allies up. So this is kind of bad. I kind of got myself stuck right here in Tangiers. But hopefully the enemy will be too afraid to attack us. Hopefully Castile will wrap up with Granada, and then... Oh, shit. Oh, no. Okay, so a rebel army just popped up here. That is so, so bad. But maybe we can use this to my advantage. I don't know. Okay, so I talked about rebellions. I told you that there's a rebellion brewing in one of my provinces. So that happens to the AI as well. And I just have the extreme misfortune of being in the same province as an enemy's rebel army. And this can happen. You can use this to your benefit. If you're a clever player sometimes, you can spawn rebels and make your rebel armies fight your enemies. And Morocco is just such a good player at EU4 that he's spawned some rebels for me. So I'm going to wait. I can't retreat until the 8th of September. And I'm going to use this opportunity, hopefully, to retreat all the way back to home Portugal territory. Oh no. Okay, they're really walloping me. I got one more day. Survive? Okay. I am getting absolutely wrecked right now, so that's terrible. I'm gonna retreat. Oh my goodness. I can't retreat across the strait because they have boats. Oh no, this is a disaster. Disaster piece. Okay. Alright, well that's terrible. If you remember, I was saying that armies can only retreat within, or after the battle has passed for 8 days. And so what happened is my troops moved from this province to this province on retreat. They cannot retreat across the strait because it's blocked by an enemy navy. So they just instantly died, all of them. I started out with 18,000 troops in this province. We fought their rebels and got our ass kicked, and then they retreated directly into the main Moroccan Talafalt army and got wiped. So we now have 0 troops. Yeah, that's really bad. But, you know, losing is fun, so I'm just gonna roll with this for a minute. Okay, this is good. Morocco's gonna lose to Castile here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, so they just lost that battle. Now I'm pretty much at the mercy of Castile. So my manpower, I don't have enough to replace my whole army. The only bright silver lining here is that my military expenditure is nil, so I'm earning more money than I was. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to be a little cheeky. I'm going to just get a couple of troops. Oops, that's cavalry. I want just regular infantry. And I'm just going to try and be supportive of Castile wherever and however I can. Because Castile is still strong. It's possible that Castile can just, like, hard carry me through this whole war. I still have my fleet, so maybe we can get our shit together and block the strait. I don't know, we're not done yet, right? We put on Iron Man, this is the risk you take. I got totally wrecked by a rebel stack, so that's just bad luck, although I was in a pretty risky position, so things happen for a reason. But I'm just going to wait this out for a bit. I'm actually going to speed up the game. I'm going to keep these guys hidden. If the enemy occupies some of my territory, I can try to occupy it back. I can just run around and retreat into Spain. They have almost 30,000 troops here, which is pretty good. Okay, this sucks. They just got my fort. And my navy just got ejected into the straits. Maybe we can win this fight, though. Oh, this is a great event, importing naval supplies. So I can either get military power, or I can get mercantilism. Mercantilism is one of those, it's really not a very important game mechanic, but it's a permanent bonus. If I take the mercantilism, I will have it forever. Whereas the military points would be good because I could tech up. I would like to tech up as soon as possible. But I think I'm going to take the long-term benefit. Oh, it's diplomatic power. Yeah, diplomatic power isn't very important for me right now. So I'm going to take the mercantilism, might as well. Now let's see how this naval battle goes. Oh, I won it. Okay, nice. And I killed 2 heavy ships. Okay, that's fantastic. And now I block the strait. Okay, well, this is good. I am not going to stay here, though. Because this is really exposed. I'm going to go over here, actually. This is where Spain's navy is hanging out, or Castile, sorry. And I'm going to go park my navy in an allied province so that it can repair. Oh, look at that. Castile took the opportunity. Now they're blocking the strait. Okay, well, I should have been blocking the strait the whole time. Not going to lie to you. That was a total goof. But whatever, that's EU4. That's Iron Man. We're just going to have to live with this. Okay, the rebels take control of that province. Okay, it looks like Castile's navy is getting... Oh, it's heavies, though. Okay, well, I might go try to save them. 4 heavies is nothing to sniff at, so they might win that battle on their own. With us, they'll definitely win. There you go. They lost their last heavy ship. Okay, well, this is good. If we can control the strait, that's a huge benefit for us, because we can kind of keep them out. Just like, and then another thing is that if they get into a fight, just like I couldn't retreat across the strait, Morocco won't be able to. Ooh, money or prestige? I will take the prestige, usually better to get other things than money. 23 ducats is not very much in the big scheme, so definitely plus 10 prestige, not bad. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little trick here. So Spain keeps moving off this siege, which is not a good idea. Like if they just stayed there from the start of the war, they definitely would have gotten the siege by now. So I'm gonna just put 1,000 troops on each of these provinces with forts. Oh, there's 1,000 enemies there, so might as well send both in, beat the 1k stack, boom. Okay, so they got totally wiped out here, right? Because they lost the battle within 7 days. Now I'm going to send a very small army here, and this way, if Castile moves off the province to go fight or to go do whatever, we will maintain the siege progress. We'll still have this 21% chance to win the siege. So, same thing here. We had to just restart the siege for our allies, which is too bad. I'm gonna move my navy in. Okay, so I was talking about the month ticks, how everything happens at the turn of the month. So one of the things that happens is navy maintenance. So I'm gonna move my navy over here. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna try and get them in there near the end of the month. And at the month tick, you'll see that they'll repair. And then I can bring them back out. And this way, I only had my fleet out of the strait for, I don't know, like a couple days or something. Maybe a week, as opposed to having them sit in port the whole time. When I pop out, I can snipe this small navy. The AI has an affinity for splitting up their troops, which is not a good idea. So this is a good way you can beat the AIs if they split up into small troops. Okay, this is really dumb. Seuss is going to go suicide themselves into a gigantic... what? Okay. Well, that was weird. It looks like Castile is going to send this whole army in, but then they chickened out. Still, though, it's going to be a bad battle. Wow. Okay, so the terrain gives you either a bonus or a detriment, but this is mountains, and Castile is the attacker, so they're getting -2 for being in the mountains, and then they're taking a river crossing. So this is... all the dice rolls for Castile are getting a -3 applied to them, so that's a really bad battle, but they so outnumber the enemy it doesn't matter. And that's great, that stack just retreated and got stack wiped, so that's good stuff. Okay, so even though our 18,000 troops got wiped out, Castile is able to hard carry us in this war right now, and things are at least okay. They're not great, but they're okay. So hopefully we get this siege in a second. Okay, not yet. Okay, here's a pop-up. We can get a technology. So this is great. This is where our monarch points should be going to. I'm just going to get this diplomatic technology. There's no great reason not to. And I killed my advisor, so I'm going to get a new one. I'm going to get this guy. Production efficiency basically means money, so money's good. And there goes that siege. 35%, hopefully we'll get it. What's the siege at? They're at 29%, so... we want to do this... okay, they won the race, so that's too bad. Okay, but they're not coming across, so that's okay. Yes, war is not going well. This is not a clean war. This is not the chill tutorial war that I was expecting, but yeah, that's EU4. Okay, sweet. So we've at least got Granada under control. Okay, I'm gonna do something else here. This is a nice mechanic. There's these puzzle pieces. I can allow armies to attach to my armies. And if I have a very small stack, like 1,000 troops, the enemy will be inclined to do that because my army is vulnerable. So you can see here I went from having 980 to having 4.9k troops. Someone is attached to me, it looks like. Yeah, the Castilian 4k stack is with me. Let's go join that battle, look at that. Got 2 prestige, that's good stuff. And we've kicked our enemy out of the Iberian Peninsula, which is also really great. They we control the strait. So hopefully we can get Castile to cross the strait. Unfortunately, it's going to take a really long time to siege all the forts, but that's the game sometimes. Okay, we can't. Don't want to do that. Okay. Do you want to stick to me here? Just trying to induce Spain to attach their army to mine. Okay, kind of in an impasse here. So we could take this crossing, we could fight, but we'd take a really bad battle if we did that. 12k versus 12k with the crossing. Yeah, it's not ideal. There's no armies, or there's no generals here, so we can at least give a general. Our general has 3 maneuver, theirs has 3 maneuver. So if we had more maneuver, we would not take the crossing penalty. Just gonna go for this, what the hell. I only have 2k troops invested in this, the rest are Spanish, so... Or sorry, Castilian, so that's fine. I would rather have them lose troops than us. Let's get everyone in here. Okay, this is kind of bad. So you can see there's one stack, the Tercio de Cordoba, and their arrival date is the 24th of March, whereas all the other armies have a 26th of March arrival date. This is bad, because we'll get there with our 1k and just get annihilated for 2 days before the rest of the army appears. The reason that's happening is because this is the army that the general is attached to. So what I'm going to do, this is kind of an annoying thing, I'm going to do no leader. They'll arrive on the 26th, so I need to pause the game on the 25th. Slow it down. And on the 25th, I'm going to attach a general, and hopefully then they will all arrive on the same date. How do we look? Okay, someone's arriving there on the 27th. Okay, that's kind of still bad. We're arriving a day earlier. Okay, well, whatever, that's fine. We'll have 2k arriving a day earlier. They'll get walloped for a day, and then the rest of the army will show up. Hopefully, Castile will reinforce with this 10k stack once the battle has begun. There they go. Okay, here we go. This is our 2k against 12k first day. Terrible. Yikes. And we are taking a -3, so we really have to win with numbers in this battle. Okay, next day. Castilians show up. More Castilians showing up all the time. Okay, this is good. We are winning, although very marginally. They are also reinforcing, so that's not great. Let's see, come on, Castile, get in here. Oh no, they got a lot of reinforcements. Okay, this is gonna be an epic battle. Okay, now we're at 20, okay. Even again. 1.77 versus 1.55, so we are winning, but not very much. Okay, oh god, okay, just watching the, oh no, okay, we got wrecked. And those are some heavy losses, oh my god. Wow. Okay, rough stuff. So the good news here is that we have a positive war score, and you can see this little red button. So I'm gonna, if I left click on this, it's gonna bring up the sort of war screen. And our enemies have a low war enthusiasm, which is kind of a AI decision-making tool that'll determine how and when they peace out from a war. So we just fought, they lost a lot of troops. We've kind of been in and occupying their territory. We have been blockading them. They don't really like this war very much anymore. So we could probably get out of it if we wanted to. But you can also see that we have Granada completely occupied. They are at our mercy. We have 93% out of 100 war score on them. So what can I do? Castile controls all these 3 provinces, so if I select those in the war screen, they'll go to Castile. Cede Malaga to Castile. Don't really want to do that. I would rather have these provinces for myself, but I could at least take this little province. It's better than nothing. So if I go in, I can go into the peace view with Morocco, who is the war leader. They're the ones I declared war on. Granada, you can see this little red flag, is a non-co-belligerent. It means taking their stuff will be more expensive. And then these other 3 are vassals, and this little icon indicates that they can't sign a separate peace. But Granada can, so I would like to sign a separate peace with Granada and take a province. So it's better than nothing. At least I'll come out of this war with something. So I'm going to take this province. It's 16 war score. I have a claim on it, so... And now I'm also going to take humiliation from them. So we are rivals. One thing that you can do with your rivals is humiliate them. This will give you some benefits, mostly power projection. So power projection, kind of an abstract thing. I don't really totally understand what it's meant to simulate, what real world thing it's simulating, but if you have high power projection, there's benefits. If I get 50, I get monarch power. I get 1 of each monarch point every month, so that's huge, and I really want to be at 50 power projection whenever possible, because it'll help me stay ahead in tech. So that's good. I want to humiliate them. I think it'll say in here that gives me 32 power projection, so that's pretty great. That'll get me over 50. And I want to take money from them, so I can take up to 75%. This gives me 81 war score. And then I also want war reparations, so that will force them to give me 10% of their income. You can see there's these tabs. There's the Cede Province, Revoke Cores, Annul Treaties, and other treaties. But mostly, you're going to cede provinces and you're going to take treaties. I could take a little less money and get rid of their military alliance with Morocco. But I don't really care, actually. I would like to fight these 2 at the same time, I think, most of the time. Especially if I can get Castile involved. Castile is going to tank. So this is good. I'm just going to take this 1 province for me. I'm going to take as much money as I can. And I'm going to take the war reps. I'm not going to split them up with their friends. So this is good. Even though the war is, like, kind of bad, at least we're going to get something out of it. We're going to get this 1 province. Okay, so something that I haven't explained is the concept of coring. So there's cores and territories in this game. If you core a province, that means it's like an integral part of your country. Like, it is Portugal to the fullest. So for example, in the US, Puerto Rico is not a core in the real world, if you want to kind of use that analogy, because they're not a state, they're considered like an overseas territory. But if you have provinces that have not been cored, it will give you what's called overextension, which is bad. 3% overextension is not very much. That's not really a big deal at all, actually, but I still am going to spend the 16 administrative power to make this a core. I have very high war exhaustion. You can see there, this war exhaustion is bad. It gets to be a real problem when you get above about 5, and you can go up to 20. If you go up to 20, your country is just going to be ruined. So the war exhaustion for me right now is a problem. The biggest thing it's going to do is make my provinces more rebellious, and then I will have to fight rebellions at the same time as I'm fighting the war. So none of that is ideal. But I'm still going to make this a core, even though the war exhaustion makes it 22% more expensive. It's not a ton, it's only 16 total, so that's fine. What is that, like 3 admin for my war exhaustion? And now I have a -1 war score with an enemy who does not really want to be in the war. They have a war exhaustion as well. Not sure what I should do. Fortunately, we control both sides of the strait, so that's good. Castile could march troops into our enemy's land. We just lost the battle that we tried to fight by doing that, You can see Castile is hiring new armies, so they're invested in this, which is kind of good. And I might... I don't know. I could give it one more try. Morocco's offering me peace. Let's see what this is. Oh, they're offering me white peace, actually. Nah. So we declared the war, I think, for Tangiers, yes. So if we take this province back, that'll give us a really favorable position in order to fight the war. Okay, got a little event. Uh-oh. Okay, now we have a problem. So Castile has signed a separate peace with Morocco, which means they're out of this war and we can't rely on them to fight the war for us. So that's pretty bad, which means we need to make peace ASAP and just be happy that we got the humiliate, we got the money, and then we screwed over Granada. I'm gonna do this autonomy. Autonomy I haven't explained, but maybe I'll do that next. But first I want to get out of this war. So they had low enthusiasm a moment ago. Unfortunately now my enemies have high enthusiasm. They're perceiving a swing in the war. Oh, they're getting a huge boost from relative strength now that Castile is out. So I might have to... I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to have to finagle a little bit. I do have manpower, I do have money. I could just hire some more troops. I probably will do that. Let's go like 10 troops. We get 6 more infantry. Guess I don't have enough for 10, that's fine. Again, this war exhaustion is a problem. I can reduce my war exhaustion by spending Diplo points. I'm ahead of Diplo technology relative to my other techs, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, here we go. My pitiful little army. I want to swell, I want to puff out my chest a little bit so that maybe they'll still think that... Yikes, it's really ugly. Okay, so what if I offer them tribute? What if I give something up? Okay, well they want Quito, that's still not enough. What else do they want? You can see this little thumbs up is going to indicate. So I could concede defeat, they want that, but that's not enough. Can I pay them? Can I pay you off? Okay, they want Q to be part of the war offer. Ooh, yikes. Okay, well this is bad. Yeah, I don't know about this. Just gonna play this one out. Okay, they're down to mediums, that's good. It's gonna give me a better war offer. Maybe they can get to low. 17's pretty high. They go from high to medium at 20, and from medium to low at 0. So they have a long way to go for low. Let's see. Let's see if I can get off easy. Still no, still can't war rep. They want Cuta. I don't want gold. Oof, okay, that's pretty ugly. I want Gibraltar. And that's still not enough for you. Okay. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna do the suggest offer. What are they asking me for? So I gotta cede Q to Morocco, and I gotta give Gibraltar back to Granada. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to come out of this war with something. So I think I'm just gonna stick this out for a minute. I'm gonna sit on the other side of the strait. If you remember, they take a pretty bad crossing penalty when they try to cross the strait. We also have control of the strait with our navy. Maybe we can just wait this out. The problem is that we need Tangiers in order for this to be a one war. And they're going to get what's called ticking war score. So if they control the war goal, which is Tangiers, they get war score every month. And they could get up to 25 war score, which is enough to make it very hard for me to peace out. You can see they've already gone from -1 to -4. But their enthusiasm is decreasing, so maybe we can still survive. I'm going to speed this up, nothing's really going on. I don't want them to get this fort, it's still in the negatives. I would love for them to peace out because they're taking attrition, and I'm blockading them, they're taking attrition. We can see in the war screen that they have some war exhaustion. The war's been going on for a long time. They think their military is weak. So maybe there's more... Okay, that's bad. They just breached the walls. That was a big siege progress. They're still on military technology 3, which is very important. If we get to tech 4 first, we could fight them. Okay. I think I'm going to take the tech. I don't know if I'm going to fight them, but I'm going to take the tech. That'll make me look stronger. The relative strength of alliances will now have shifted slightly in my favor. Okay, we can see we're close. We're close to making a peace with them. 0% on the fort. I think I'm going to risk it just for a little longer. Because their war enthusiasm is... Oh, it's at 1. Okay, it's so close. I gotta wait this out. I gotta wait. I might have to take this... Okay, that's the first of the month. What's their war enthusiasm? 0. Okay, I gotta wait 1 more month. I'm gonna have to take this 7% siege tick risk. If they control my fort, they'll get siege score. Or sorry, they'll get war score. Okay, there it is. They're on low. Let's see what I can do now. Do you want out of this war? They do. Okay. By 1, 19 to 18. Okay. So I'm going to make a white peace with the Moroccans. This war, to say the least, did not go how I expected it to. But I think it's worth being persistent in wars most of the time. I could have probably peaced out before Castile left, but I didn't know they were going to do that. And it's just really unfortunate that my 18,000 troops got killed by rebels and then retreated directly into the enemy army, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So, we're out of war, we're still safe, we got Castile, our buddy, we have a truce now with Morocco, so they're not going to declare war. You can see this in the diplomacy screen. Truce until 1458. We have an even longer truce with Granada, 1466. The war score determines the truce length, so we had a near 100 war score peace deal with Granadans and a 0% peace deal with Moroccans. So what do we get out of that? We got 1 province. It's not a very good province. We got power projection, which is really important. We got prestige, and we got money. So that was probably worth it overall, even though that was kind of a bad war. We came out with a smaller army. We don't have as much money. Actually, I'm going to quickly readjust my money situation. So I'm going to mothball this fort. And I'm going to mothball this fort. It's going to save me money. And I'm going to turn my troop maintenance down. And look at that, we're making a little cash. I'm also going to put my boats back in a port. I'm going to separate my light ships. Looks like I lost some light ships in the war. And I'm going to have these 2 light ships protect trade in Safi. So how we're doing? Okay, we're 6 ducats. We have a loan. We took out 1 loan. Loans isn't something I explained, but basically if you run out of money, you don't just lose. You take a loan. The size of the loan depends on your country's income. So we just took out a 5-year loan of 68 ducats. It'll take us a little while to pay that back, but it's no big deal. We pay a little interest. It's not a big deal. Loans can be really powerful. Loans are a good tool. If you can win and grow, you can definitely make loans work for you. New players tend to be averse to loans, but it's a strong tool. Oh, look at that. I have a bunch of mercenaries, which yeah, that's not good. So mercenaries are expensive, but I have a relatively small army. These 6k are costing me... I don't even know. Does it tell me? Probably someplace it tells me. But these 6k are costing me about 3 ducats a month, so I'm just going to get rid of them. And now look at that. I have a really good surplus. I can pay back that loan lickety-spit. I don't need a strong standing army right now because I have truces with my neighbors and I'm allied with the other one. So we're... Despite that war being a bit of a disaster, we're doing okay. So I'm going to send back my diplomat to build a spy network on Morocco. I'm going to improve relations with Castile because they just really saved my ass. And yeah, we're looking okay. This is why Portugal is a great country to start as, because for some countries, if we lost a war like that, we would basically just die. Like, we would lose all of our troops, we would look like a juicy target for other countries would declare war on us, and we would be defenseless. Like, if we were surrounded by enemies like some of the more Central European countries, we would be in dire straits, but because we're out here on the edge with Castile, our buddy, we can survive things like this. So I think I'm going to wrap up here for a minute. Hopefully this is enough to kind of explain the basic game mechanics. I feel like I've gone over the timeline, troop movement, diplomacy, your basic attributes of your country, monarch points, money, manpower, stability, unrest, prestige, legitimacy, and power projection, as well as your agents. So this is kind of like how you start playing the game. The game is fun even if you're not winning, at least in my opinion. Like, I just had a pretty disastrous war, but it's fun doing it. It's always unexpected. It's kind of like role play that even when things don't go well, you can enjoy it. So if you've enjoyed this, stay tuned. I really appreciate your viewership, and I'll see you soon.